creation in the Bible. Now we know it took how many days to create creation, to create everything?
See, it says what, 7 days? Because he rested on the seventh.
7 days total, because on the seventh day he rested. So
yes.
The first 6 days is when God spent all of his time and energy doing creation. He was doing his creative art, per se.
Yes.
He was making all the beautiful things we see today. So that's what we're going to start with on day one. Day one of creation, God created light and darkness. God created light and separated it from darkness.
Yep.
So that's how you get light and dark. Just plain and simple. That was the very first day. And that was very as necessity. Yeah. We need light and dark.
Yeah. And you can't necessarily look at the light and the dark in the way that we kind of know that it works. We know that we get the light from the sun, and darkness comes because the earth turns. But you got to think, this goes deeper than that. Mm-hmm. There was nothing. There was nothing. It was just God. So he had to make a light source, and then he also had to make the darkness.
Yes, and that was what he means when he says created light and dark, because once you get further into the creation and the scripture, we see where the sun and the moon and stuff comes into play.
Yeah.
So you're exactly right. Beginning there was nothing.
Yeah.
It was just blank. So you had, we'll just say it's darkness per se. It was just blank, emptiness.
Yeah.
So he had to have that light source. So he had to make light and dark. Mm-hmm. So that was day one. And when I was thinking about this stuff, I was like, I wonder how long it actually took him to do that. Because we know God's time is different from our time.
Yeah.
So I wonder how long it actually took him to do it. Did he have to sit there and think and ponder on it, or did he already automatically know?
Yeah, just knew, I want light. And
yeah, he's like, it's a little dark in here. It's a little too dim. I need something I got to work with. I got to see what I'm doing.
Yes.
So Genesis chapter 1, verses 3. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light.
Yes, now, and it was good.
And it was good. Now, when he says that, that sounds very easy, light.
Yeah.
There was light. You got to remember, God's all powerful.
There's a star.
Pow. I wonder if he just messed around with the light. This is too light. This is too bright.
Yeah.
This is too dim. It's too dark.
Well,
I need something brighter.
When you look at the scientific way that stars are created in our universe, what science has told us is that, stars are this massive ball of all these different elements that's burning, and it's creating a reaction.
Massive ball of energy.
Massive ball of energy. So kind of the way that I think about it is that he's taken and he said, I need this stuff and I need this stuff, and I'm going to take it and I'm just going to mash it together.
Press it together.
And went, there's light.
There's light. I wonder how big that light was. I wonder if it's small or it's big.
I don't know. He may have started off with the little stars first.
You could break this down and think about it and have your own little questions. How was it? How was it?
Yeah.
We'll never know. Maybe one day, when we all get to heaven, he might break it down and tell us exactly. You never know.
Yeah.
But God said, let there be light, and there was light, and it was good.
Yep.
Light was called day, and darkness was called night. So right there we see day and night. Mm-hmm. Dark and light. Day 2, sky and waters. God separated the waters above from the waters below, creating the sky and heavens. So right here, when you see waters from above and waters from below, what does that mean? Yeah. Well, if you go back to Noah, we can read in the scripture in Genesis 2 when Noah and the flood, we see that water fell from the sky and water rose from the ground.
Yes.
So in the beginning, God had to separate all that stuff. But we get a clear glimpse of that in Noah because water came from above and from below.
Yeah.
And when it receded, it quit raining and the waters went back down to the ground. So that leads me to believe, we have a bunch of underground water reservoirs and stuff like that to this present day that you can go down and explore in the caves and stuff like that.
And we do. You can see it today. And we still have underground water. It's you drill a well, you've got a natural spring. Water is still under the earth.
Exactly. So we can relate that to what we can physically see and touch and, dip out and pour out right now from the day of creation. You had waters from below and from above, and God had to separate all this stuff.
Yeah.
So we see that on day 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, day 3, we get into land, sea, and plants. God gathered the waters, so dry land appeared. So right there, he's telling us that, we can see that it was just water.
Yeah.
There was water everywhere. There was no dry land, nothing. It was just solid water.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get the water from below. So now God had to separate this. He said, okay, there's too much water.
Yep.
I need some dry land. I need something. So here we see that God made land. And he had land and he had the sea. So we picture right now you got ocean, which water covers most of the earth.
Yeah, it does.
So we have water, and then God put some land up.
Yep.
So we see the land and the water,
Mm-hmm.
and also plants. You got to have something on the land, right?
Yeah.
So right there we see on day 3 we had land, seas, which is the ocean, and we had plants. Dry land is the earth. Waters is the seas of the earth.
Yes.
So we have the oceans, we know that. And then the certain seas, like you have the Dead Sea and stuff like that.
Yep.
So different bodies of water on dry land and off dry land.
Yes.
We see stuff like that. So that was just during day 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then on day 3, God created grass, plants, and fruit trees.
Yeah.
So he made this on the land. So let's recap that right there. It was nothing but water. God made land. After he made the land, he put the grass, plants, and fruit trees on it.
Yeah.
So it's all starting to come together
Yeah.
right now.
And you can kind of imagine that the earth looked like what we see is the moon, but with water all over the place.
Yeah.
It wasn't, in a newer way of saying it, terraformed yet. Things hadn't grown. Nothing was there. It was just dirt and water.
Yeah, so,
A lot of mud.
just like you just said, you look at the earth picture, it's blue.
Yeah.
It's not because of the sky, it's because it's water.
Exactly.
It's just a big old planet of nothing but water.
Yep.
And then God had to make land. And he had to separate this stuff.
Yep.
And on the land, he put the trees and the plants and so forth.
Yeah.
So we see that on day 3. Now, as we're going, when I was looking at this stuff and studying it, because we read through it all the time about creation, what popped in my head was Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Bob Ross is up there, he's got a blank canvas, and he's going to create him a perfect painting
Yes.
with happy little trees.
Happy little trees.
Happy little trees, happy little
little
clouds, all this good stuff. So God has a blank canvas. He has nothing on it. He's sitting back thinking to himself, what am I going to do? What am I going to create? I want to make this beautiful. So, he starts out on this blank canvas.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of light and darkness. He needs to separate this stuff. So he goes on, he creates the water. So the canvas is, a little bit of light, but it's blue.
Mm-hmm.
And on this blue, because the blue is going to be the background on the canvas of this painting.
Yeah.
So he's going to add in some land. He's going to draw in the land. He's going to draw in the trees, the fruit, the grass. And so it's starting to come together. He's looking back and looking at this thing. He's like, it's starting to become what I pictured it.
Yes.
It's coming into focus right now. But I still need to do more and more to it for it to be perfect.
Yep.
So that's what I thought about when I read the scripture.